I first met him at a mutual friend's party, and sparks flew instantly. He had that dangerous charm, the kind that pulls you in before you even know what's happening. We spent every weekend together, wrapped up in each other's worlds, and I fell hard and fast. So, when he told me he had to go on a business trip for a week, I believed him without question. But then, the whispers started. A friend of a friend saw him out with another woman, and at first, I thought it was just a misunderstanding. But curiosity gnawed at me, and I decided to dig a little deeper. One evening, I followed him after he said he was meeting his boss for dinner. My heart pounded as I trailed behind, feeling guilty but driven by an urgency I couldn't ignore. He stopped at a quaint little restaurant, and I watched from a distance as he greeted a woman with a kiss that was far too familiar for a business meeting. Just as the shock was settling in, she turned slightly, and I caught sight of a wedding ring glinting under the dim lights. My stomach dropped. This was no ordinary affair, it was a life I knew nothing about. Determined to confront him, I waited outside until they left. As they walked past, hand in hand, I stepped out of the shadows and called his name. The look on his face was a mix of horror and anger, but it was the woman's reaction that sent me reeling. She looked at me with cold recognition, not as a stranger, but as someone who had been expecting this confrontation. "You've got some nerve," she spat, and in that moment, I realized she was no clueless wife, she was in on his game all along. The truth hit me like a freight train. I was the other woman in a sick, twisted game they played together. It was never about love for him, but about power and control, a thrill of deception that both of them relished. As the pieces of my life shattered around me, I stood there, grappling with the anger and betrayal, knowing that I had been a pawn in their toxic dance. I walked away, feeling both empty and strangely liberated, vowing to never again let someone else dictate my worth.